Hello, fellow Outlanders, and welcome back to our Outlander show here on theStream.tv. We finally got to experience Lallybroch this week, and we got a whole lot more of Tobias Menzies than I think we would have ever expected. But I am here with my two amazing co-hosts.
More than we ever hoped for. Just say it. Just say it.
Penis.
Get it out. There it is. That's
adults.
what we need.
Let's just be adults here.
Okay, our resident Outlander.
Why do we need to be adults, everyone? Hi, I'm Ryan Hooks, guys. Thanks for joining us. And I am not going to be an adult, so you can just go ahead and plan on me saying penis and giggling the rest of the show.
And our book expert and I guess the grown-up of the panel, Miss Jennifer Barnes.
Hi, guys. How's it going?
I don't think I introduced myself. I'm Keetin Marchi. I am also your host tonight. And wow, yeah, let's just, before we get to the penis talk.
You're a little excited.
No, not that. Let's talk about how amazingly this episode started. I mean, these spanning shots of the Scottish highlands. I mean, it was breathtaking to me. And again, every time I watch Outlander, I'm just like, can I just go there? Can I just go book my ticket? I've been seeing all over Twitter that they're now doing Outland, but they're not only a contest, but people are now doing Outlander tours, which is really cool.
That would be awesome.
Outlander themed vacations.
Yeah,
all that.
I really enjoyed how the opening theme song turned into a bagpipe version that was just beautiful. And then I know you guys are going to tease me because you just think all I think about are dogs.
Jen's a crazy dog and cat lady.
I thought it was so cute how just really nice how that first image of Lallybroch was the dogs at the fireplace, just chilling. It was awesome.
Well, I noticed last week they actually changed the intro. It was different in terms of all the pictures that they used.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're toying with the intro a little bit now and seeing if they can add more in from the show and change the way that it looks.
Because they've shot so many.
Yeah,
so
now
many
that they
more
have all these scenes
now,
under the belt that people have seen and will recognize, they can start, incorporating them back into the shots and such. So last week, if you remember, I talked about how we've had this really emotional high roller coaster. So this week, to me, was a good episode, and I liked that they did all these great shots because I think that's where they were trying to fill. To me, there was less in the content.
It was definitely more of it was about the family.
FYI.
Yeah, it was a family drama.
Family drama. It was not this crazy epic.
But it was a nice lull in the action,
It was
and
nice
it provided.
because it's just gonna get crazy.
It provided a lot of good backstory, those flashbacks,
Which we need.
and
yeah, absolutely. And I loved how those spanning shots of the Scottish Highlands, and we get to see Claire and Jamie, and then it goes immediately into kind of the talk about airplanes. And that's so, and I love seeing this side of Jamie where he is curious about where Claire came from.
And she finally gets to talk about it, which is awesome.
And I mean, how crazy would it have been, to have somebody explain what an airplane was to you,
I know,
and how high you fly. I don't know. I loved everything about that scene, and I just want these conversations to happen more often of Claire sharing kind of what the future is going to be
Everything,
like.
all the information that she knows. I think I'm still waiting for the stuff that's going to lead into, all the battles and the stuff that's going to happen with Prince Charles and the stuff she knows about how the Scottish fail.
Yeah.
And so I keep
Be
hoping.
patient.
I keep
patient,
hoping for
my
that.
son. Be patient. So we finally do get to Lallybroch, and it was very kind of abrupt. It was this beautiful kind of calm, leading up to Lallybroch, and then all of a sudden, a bat out of hell, Jenny, we run into Jenny. We see Claire talking to this little boy named Jamie, and Jamie is just angry Jamie right off the bat.
Yeah.
Because he thinks that this little boy named Jamie is the bastard son of Blackjack Randall, and this kind of starts that family feud that we see progress throughout the entire
Good old
episode.
stubborn-headed Fraser's running right into it. I like that they, because he set up that he heard a rumor that there was this bastard child, and they flash back to the scene of him getting beat, and we remember back in episode 1 and 2 when we met Jenny for the first time. And only just briefly, now she's been reintroduced, which we got all kinds of Laura Donnelly this week, which was great.
Oh, and Laura Donnelly, she went to school with Sam. Hewitt.
That was great for their chemistry. I think they had that familiarity from having known each other for that long.
They
that
can
was
be brother
really
and
nice.
sister very well.
And she was great as ballbuster Jenny. She was not
super sassy.
She was not taking any of Jamie's crap. Which was great.
Well, and I was kind of were you guys team Jenny or were you team Jamie throughout this?
At what point? Because my mindset changed. when the episode first started, I was on Jamie's team, like for a little bit, because she just like was laying into him and then was laying into Claire. I was like, whoa, what is this? What's warranting this? But then as he sort of became the Laird of Lallybroch and just like got a little bit of an ego, then I was kind of like, oh, you know,
too big for his britches.
A little too big for his kilt, if you will.
Well, and it's also like where Jenny hasn't heard it from him in like 4 years. You know, what is that like? She's been alone at Lallybroch. I mean, she had Ian, but just running that place on her own, and it was really Jamie's to be there for. And
I really loved Ian, played by Stephen Cree. I thought he was really, really great. And he was a nice kind of balance to this crazy, strong woman that is Jamie, or Jenny.
The ferocity?
Yeah, the ferocity of Jenny. Because it's very interesting kind of Claire, because Claire is a very strong woman, but of her time, and then Jamie's a very strong man, so they have a completely different balancing act as a relationship and as a couple than I feel like Jenny and Ian have.
Yeah.
But it was I loved seeing him, and I love seeing kind of that advice and him when him and Claire were talking about kind of being married to Frasers and what that.
Yeah, and how Jenny told the story of how Jenny was like, so we're getting married. Like, I forget what day she said, but we'll be married by this day. Done. It's done.
St. Martin's Day.
St. Martin's Day. We'll be married on St. Martin's Day. That's it.
Yeah, I
was to say, I like the part where he's talking about, like, well, if you want him to do it, you push him, or you kick him and be ready for the consequences, and if they don't move, kick them harder.
And then we see, you know, Claire goes in and has that sit down with Jamie about, hey, you need to maybe have a little empathy for what your sister has gone through. You need to maybe be approaching this situation a completely different. And I think he definitely took her advice.
Yeah.
So
and it's nice.
Oh.
Well, it was nice. I mean, I know there wasn't a lot of action and crazy stuff that happened in this episode until, you know, that cliffhanger. But
we'll get there.
It was nice just to like delve into those relationships and kind of just flesh them out a bit and get a sense of Scotland and Lallybroch.
Well, and I did like a lot of the scenes where they were sitting and talking, you know, because there was obviously at the end the scene with Claire and Jamie are talking about stuff, and then he's telling the story about what happened with Blackjack Randall, which we'll get to, and also Jenny telling the story. Yeah. And I actually really like the interactions, more specifically with Claire and Jamie. I like the part the best when he pulls her off, when she pulls him off the bed. And he's like, listen, I'm talking. You can talk when I'm done, and like kind of tells him what's that. Because it was shortly after he kind of got into her about, you know, knowing her place and when to speak and not speak. And so I thought that was a cool dynamic, how it started with him saying, you know, you should just respect our family, and then we'll figure it out. And then she ends with him on the ground getting told
They both have a few things to teach each other.
They do, and it's a continue. I mean, that's what you do when you're in a good relationship. But before we continue on, I just want to remind you guys, thank you all who are watching us live. Keep commenting, tweet at us. Remember to hashtag the Outlander AS for Outlander After Show. But let's talk about these flashbacks and the more specifically the penis that we saw.
I mean, let's get right to business then. And
no, but this is what the internet's kind of been a buzz about, is the fact that Tobias Menzies, who plays Blackjack Randall, he went full frontal, and you don't see this very often. You don't see male full frontal nudity very often on television, and.
That's true.
Well, Starz did it in Black Sails as well. So.
Oh, did they?
Yeah. So this is the second show in a row that they have that's an original programming type show that they're doing male full frontal.
I love that they went for it. And I mean, I think honestly, if you can have shows like Game of Thrones and other shows where you're gonna have women's stuff all out there, why can't the men's stuff be all out there?
Everybody loses their minds.
Yeah, but I love that it went out there and then Jenny just laughed right at it. That was awesome. Having Jenny just be like, ha ha ha.
Jenny, do you love that your name is Jenny and that you can now relate to Jenny?
I mean, I kind of wish I was Jenny from the Broch sometimes.
Jenny from the Broch. Hashtag Jenny
it's already
from
been
the
out there
Broch.
all
I
week.
know. I loved it.
That was trending on Twitter this week. Jenny from the Broch.
That's amazing. So the other cool kind of thing about these flashbacks, which we really haven't seen them delve into, is it was like a color change. And they really played off of the reds in the flashbacks.
That was so cool.
Where everything was kind of in grayscale and then those reds just popped out. That was really nice.
And it was like significant, I think, not so much at the beginning, but then later when there was all the blood and like all you thought about the whole time was the pain and the blood that was inflicted on him. Because then there was a couple scenes where they showed his back and it was just like blood just gushing.
I think the color red is just you can just associate that with Blackjack Randall. Just throughout the show, red is like his like passion,
his aura color.
Sadism.
Evil. He's
it's the
evil.
color of
He is the devil in
Blackjack
him.
Randall.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I mean, I had completely forgotten how graphic those scenes were that we'd seen when Jamie got whipped. And to be reminded today, I think I had a moment like Jenny, a little bit of, holy crap. Like, this is the pain that this man has put Jamie through. And it just was like a reminder to all the history that they do have. And I really appreciated
that. Do you mean in that flashback where he gets, when he's
whipped
getting
again,
flogged in
the
front
flogged.
of his dad?
Mm-hmm.
They didn't
also,
really,
too,
the
'cause
special effects there were great too.
When Jenny sees his back when he's under the mill, and she like realizes what happened to him and how bad he actually was whipped and beaten, because she wasn't there when it happened.
No.
So for her, this is the first time she's really seeing this.
And obviously, like, we did meet Jamie's father. We got some backstory on. We obviously have known how much Jamie respected his father and really looks up to his father. And we see kind of what a good man. I mean, he didn't have much screen time, but you just got this essence of like who he was and why he was so respected, and also why Jamie's the man he is today. He came from a very, very like moral standing guy.
And hopefully we'll see more flashbacks of them. Maybe Jamie as a little boy.
I would love that. Oh my God,
That'd be
he's so cute.
I
don't know.
We should play Jamie as a little boy, guys.
That's now you're gonna get the Twitter
gosh.
going crazy. Who's gonna play little boy Jamie?
Let us know who you want to see play little Jamie.
Is there
one day.
anything else from the flashbacks that you guys were really kind of taken by?
What do you want to talk about with Jamie's flashback with Randall?
Yeah, well, we find out that it wasn't just about the whippings, that it was also the fact that now we kind of
the
know.
Scene in the office.
Yeah, where he offers sex basically, and he said, "I won't whip you if you turn your body over to me." Because like that's huge to think that he's potentially is homosexual, and that
I think he is a homosexual.
Well, that's why he couldn't get hard for Jenny.
That's why he wanted to flip her over.
Yeah,
turn her around. A bum's a bum, right?
Okay, guys.
Hey, you started it. I'm going to be the child and just go for it.
We're going to move on to the family drama that was obviously this entire episode. And I love to see the dynamic between Claire and Jenny. I think, Jen, I was talking to you about this. They are both two very, very strong women of their time.
Right.
And so to see them kind of go head to head, but then also figure out where their place is together, I think it's going to continue to be a growth between the relationship, but I
also
really
think
like
for Jenny, and for Jenny it's hard because she hasn't seen her brother for 4 years, and then he suddenly comes back with this English wife, this Sassenach, this Outlander, and she's like, who are you? You've never run a household like I have for the past 4 years. What do you know about this? Like, do you actually deserve this?
I like that little scene where they're like sitting at the dinner table and no one's there yet.
Yeah,
before
that was
Ian
a great
and Jamie
scene.
come in, he's like, what do you know about running a house? Well, nothing. We've got a lot to learn then.
And this is the lady who's taken my bedchamber from me.
There was some sass there.
But it's going to make, when they come together, like, when we see them actually like warm up to each other, that's going to make it so much more worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, and I really like the way each of them, I think it was just a really, really good casting.
Yeah.
Because I think both those women, they do look kind of similar, but I think just the way that they play a strong woman is completely different. So that's what I really like, to be able to see two different portrayals of very strong women who are working together, as these characters. So it was really, really great. So we already talked a little bit about Claire putting Jamie in his place. How about Drunk Jamie? We saw a lot of
I love Drunk Jamie.
Drunk
People
Jamie.
were talking about Drunk Jamie on Twitter
Fest?
too. Yeah, because it was such a cute little
You
scene.
saw the child that is still Jamie. Like Jamie, he's just happy to be home. I think he really just let his guard down, and he was partying with all of his buddies.
Hanging out with all his friends.
What was that he said? Lord of Bronx Rock, that's me, or something.
I like the part when he comes into bed and she's in bed already. Like, I feel like that's me. Like, coming home is like, hey, I'm being quiet. I'm taking my boots off. And he's like stomping and slamming doors and falling on the bed.
And she's annoyed at first, but then she just smiles when he falls asleep.
And then he just like talks to you, but then he falls asleep.
Yeah. Well,
That's
and
life.
this,
cute.
Jamie then he gets a talking to by Claire. He also finally gets kind of to bury the hatchet with Jenny by the end of this episode at his father's grave. And that was I feel like a very strong scene between the two of them. And
so fitting that it was at the grave, too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Like that they're in front of the graves. First time he's gone and seen the grave since his father passed away. and then they're having this reconciliation. I think a lot of that though was Claire's influence. I feel like when Claire told him off, like that kind of made him realize.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm acting like a jackass. I should probably get myself together.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're able to bury the hatchet because they were both this entire time blaming each other for their father's death, and now both realizing we're both beating ourselves up about this for no reason. Let's just come together, and we're here now, and let's, bring Lallybroch back. So then we see how happy Claire is as well that they're able to bury this hatchet, and she's starting to see herself at home. We see not only Jamie has confessed his love to her a lot, but we see Claire say "I love you" back this episode, which is
of course you two talk about that.
I love you.
It's beautiful, but it was so short-lived because literally they had this beautiful moment at the window talking about Lallybroch. They have a great night's sleep, great night's sleep, and Claire wakes up and Jamie's gone. And she goes downstairs to see that there's a bunch of guys.
They just can't have nice things.
They can't have nice things. This is why Jamie and Claire cannot have nice things. There was a moment that I do want to talk about, since we're talking about Claire and Jamie, is when she's handed that vase. And I don't know if you guys remember in the very first episode when she's shopping by herself, when she's on her honeymoon with Frank, and she talks about seeing this vase in the window and how why buying a vase is something that's so important to her. And so to see her get this vase finally, and she kind of is like,
Is it the same one?
Oh, that's a nice.
I don't think it was the same one.
Oh,
I don't know.
yeah,
Somebody go back. Let me know.
I think that was not the same one because I remember seeing it because it had the really cool, pretty blue painting on it and the flowers. Because she got the food as well. Actually, one of the things that was really weird to me in this episode, and I started looking Google things up because I was looking at the walls and like the Lallybroch, and I was like, is that painting? Is that wallpaper?
It's wallpaper.
But wallpaper wasn't invented until later.
I thought it was like draper, like
tapestries.
Tapestry.
It could have been
But they were on the entire wall and the whole main.
Yeah,
chamber.
they would hang things all the way around in castles.
But it looked like
to help
you ever been in an old castle?
It looked like it was supposed to be wallpaper, but wallpaper wasn't invented yet.
No, I think it was.
I wanted to know after that.
All right, enough with the wallpaper, you guys.
Wallpaper.
We have to take a short break, but we will be right back answering all your Twitter questions.
Just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live.
Just in case you missed it live.
Oh, just in case you missed it live.
In case you missed it live, I'm doing something right now.
So we're all super excited.
So this is dancing. So what would that be, like a 7?
I cannot. I literally cannot. You guys have got to get it together.
Don't hate the player, don't hate the game. Hate the contract you didn't get.
He's a coward. He's a giant chicken shit.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be like hurricane. Whoa.
Watch out for those girls. They are gagging them.
Hold the phone.
Hold on.
Bro.
The more brutal you are, the more power you have.
Right.
That was sexy. It was hot. It was heated. I was into it.
You are going to be the most high-paid hooker in the world.
Go ahead and invite your friends and everybody. Tell your mama. Tell them don't ahead, turn the stove off and get up on the computer so we can get on theStream.tv.
Thank you again for joining us, and until next week, bye-bye.
And welcome back. Thank you for sticking around.
Yeah.
So our resident Outlander, Mander, I should say, Ryan Hooks, has been scouring the interwebs with all of your Twitter questions. Ryan, hit us with it.
Well, hey, so first off, people that are watching live, someone just said that it's a fabric wallpaper.
I think they were kidding.
I mean, who knows?
Heather Inslee says she's kidding.
Either way, thanks for joining us live and tuning in and all that. Also, happy birthday to Parker Brittling. So
Happy birthday!
Somebody's going to give a shout out to him, so why not? Here we are. All right, so we actually came across some really interesting stuff this week on Diana Gabaldon's Facebook page. So one of the things that I came across that I thought was really cool was the question that they were asking Diana about the coat that Jamie was wearing at the Quarter Day celebration, and they recognized that it was the same coat that the father was wearing, so they asked if that was the same coat. Thoughts?
Yes.
And it was.
It was.
So he's not only finding his sword, but he's wearing his coat, so he's really trying to be his father.
Literally stepping into his shoes.
Yeah.
Or
Why not?
Stepping into his coat.
Someone actually also commented on Blackjack Randall's package, and they were surprised that they realized it was a fake one. And then Diana Gabaldon commented, "Do you think so?" But then it came out that Tobias Menzies actually did.
That was not fake. That was all Tobias.
Well, you know, it's because he's uncircumcised,
all
so
Tobias.
it was probably different than what they were expecting it to look like. That's all I'm saying. All right, so we have a couple of.
Ryan said it.
Hey, uncircumcised penis. It's out. We're good. Are you red? You're red. Okay.
I'm good.
Let's get. I got one on Twitter here as well from our friend Q3M, and they were wondering for the non-book readers and the view of the relationship between Jamie and Ian, because that's actually their favorite part of the book. So for me, actually, I noticed that they were friends and they figured they knew each other, but I also noticed that there was a scene where they were talking when they were coming into the dinner scene. So I'm hoping we get more about their relationship.
You know, what's interesting to me about the Jamie-Ian relationship is, you know, Jamie didn't want people to see the scars on his back because he didn't want people to think of him any differently or to feel pain or pity for him. And it's funny that he's having those difficult, like, that's his issue with Ian now, because they were buddies, they grew up together, they did the war, they went to the war together. But as Ian kind of mentioned to Claire, it's a little more explicit in the book, he has never really been able to treat him the same since he lost his leg.
Well, maybe that can help.
Yeah, well, because Ian can't hide his leg.
Yeah.
It's there for everyone to see.
It is there.
True. So, in case you guys are ever wondering, we don't talk a lot about the book on the show because we like to keep it fresh for all the TV watchers out there. However, we are going to start a segment, and we're going to have some episodes released this week. Hashtag Outlander Book Club, where you can catch Keetin Marchi and Jen Barnes talking about all things related to the show and the book. So if you're interested in that and you want to join the conversation, again, hashtag Outlander Book Club. Get us up here at theStream.tv. All right, so one more from the Twitter comes from our friend HBO1, Harley Boone. Okay, so do you think the men sent to the house, or who do you think sent the men to Lallybroch to capture Jamie?
Well,
who do you think, Ryan?
Yeah, Ryan,
well,
who do you think?
it's interesting you say that because I thought that it could be one of two people.
Okay, go for it.
Go.
Oh, go for it. So it could either be, to me, the man who was beating his son.
Okay.
Or it could have been the man who paid his money, then got the money back, and then Jamie later probably took the money again. That was the one that didn't have the money to pay for his taxes.
That's interesting.
That is interesting.
So those are the two people that I thought in relation to the men, because obviously, you know, Jenny was very insistent on, no, we're family here, and we would never send someone to get Jamie because we don't do that.
People.
We trust people.
We trust these people.
But now these men show up with a gun and sketchy.
Dun, 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 dun.
And if you want to catch more of that on the Outlander Book Club, I'm sure they'll talk about it.
Check out our Outlander Book Club for this episode. Jennifer and I will be discussing that. Thank you guys so much for watching our Outlander After Show here on theStream.tv. We will see you at the same time next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye. For more Outlander After Show, hit that button and subscribe to theStream.tv.